Welcome back everyone to another episode of Raybees shitting on League of Legends. So far we've discussed how RPGs are simply a better form of media than stuff like shows and movies, while also tackling how the story and ending points of most RPGs make them a better form of entertainment than League. I'm going to link the full series in the top right, so give it a watch if you want to start from episode 1, but you don't have to watch them consecutively to get the gist. In this last video of the series, we're going to cover what might be a touchy subject for some of you, but nevertheless an important one: how single player RPGs can help you escape toxic friend groups. If you guys are new here, my name is Raybees and I help people develop a better relationship with video games so you don't end up ruining yourself addicted to them. Since I spent about 12 years addicted to video games, my videos are what I wish I would have seen when I first started out in gaming. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, do the usual YouTube stuff and like and subscribe. So everyone knows how much of a social game League is. It's one of the game's biggest strengths, even amongst other competitive titles, and gives the game a unique gaming experience given the infinite amount of permutations available. However, this social aspect has a much renowned dark side. It's notorious for how toxic it is, especially amongst friend groups. I've beaten this topic to death in this channel, but different personality types have varying responses to competitive friend groups, especially when it comes to something with so much instant feedback like video games. It can range anywhere from shutting down socially and refusing to ingratiate to being hyper fixated on the rank and burning away priorities to maintain a competitive advantage over your friends. As much as people like to pretend it doesn't exist, it definitely does, guys. I don't know why the fuck people pretend like something of a bygone era and it doesn't exist. It always exists. It's bound to exist because of how the model of League of Legends is built, especially in male adolescent friend groups where all the kids are vying to prove themselves against each other. Remember when we talked about biological imperatives and how young adolescent males have this inbuilt need to prove themselves, and League takes advantage of that. Like I've discussed previously, this is all in how video games companies use biological impulses to take advantage by creating an artificial environment of hyper-competitiveness through their rank system. If you so happen to be ambitious and driven, pray to fucking God that the League rank ladder doesn't get a hold of you and waste your fucking time. This is where single-player games come in, and why it's been working so well for some of my clients who have tried it in an effort to get the fuck away from League. In these story-based open-world games, you're free of judgment from anybody. You're really allowed to immerse yourself in the experience without the anxiety of having some of your dickhead friends or some fucking random peon on the internet throw shade. After having been addicted to League for all this time and having a personality that's really sensitive to competitiveness and social standing, it's such a nice fucking relief to finally play video games at your own pace. No more worrying about your friends judging you for misplaying, no more backhanded slights and insults that seem helpful, no more refreshing the browser on OPGG to see if one of your friends has caught a hot winning streak and vaulted over you in the rankings. The whole point of this series, guys, is to remind you that there are other games out there beside League, and by proxy, that there are other gaming experiences that you could be having. I know a lot of League players can relate to this, but the game of League of Legends is so all-consuming that dedicated players have to do so much just to keep up with it, especially if you're not one of the talented sort like me. There are so many things to optimize that the game that you used to love has now turned into a grinding ass chore. And the thing is, guys, us League players have gotten used to this grind. We've been at it for so long that somehow we know that there are other games out there, but we still don't play them because getting better at League just takes so much effort and time and precedence over any of that. I don't know how old or young some of you watching this are, but when I was a kid, flash games were on their way out but still relevant for middle school kids. Finally getting out of League's clutches and playing single player games allowed me to relive the nostalgic moments of why I fell in love with games in the first place, instead of questioning why I've been wasting so much of my time grinding away for a rank that I didn't even care about just so I can impress my friends. Even though I'm playing by myself these days, I'm having more fulfillment because I'm doing it for me and I'm not doing it for someone else, you know what I mean? It feels so common sense to gaming, but I feel like League of Legends players especially, they get caught up in the rank and the social standing and like the outplays and looking good that they forget the true essence of gaming, and that is just to have fun. And I feel like League players forget to have fun. If you don't get addicted and do it properly, it can be such a fun way to spend time with yourself. Some of us function just fine socially, but really like that moment to ourselves where we can just let loose and enjoy ourselves without having to worry about putting up social pretenses. League of Legends is one of the worst ways to do that because even by yourself, you're constantly subjected to the whims of 9 other people around you every fucking game, robbing you of the agency that you desperately need. Gaming is so much more fun when you allow yourself to seep into the universe and live out the immersion at your own pace. The sweaty, try-hard motivation that League proliferates is not only counterproductive to your general well-being, but it also screws up your relationship you have with video games. They're supposed to be fun, not a second job. And for dedicated League of Legends players, that shit is not only a second job, but an embarrassing part of your identity because you spend so much time trying to cultivate the rank and stuff. Get rid of the notion that you're going to develop any sort of useful skills by playing that useless ass game. You can develop useful skills by doing real life useful activities. If you're going to sit down and have some fun at any point during your day, make it something that you can actually have fun doing instead of being haunted by other people's expectations of you. If I could go back 12 years time when I first started out in gaming, I would definitely tell myself to play less League of Legends and more RPGs. There's so much gold in their stories, gameplay mechanics, and unique missions that I feel like I was doing myself a disservice as a gamer for not engaging in them for sooner. There are tons of other great games out there that I feel like the League players don't get the opportunity to enjoy because they're too busy like grinding away on the same map, on the same champion, on the same bullshit. Take that out of your minds, guys. So that's it. That's the conclusion of the series. Hopefully over these past 4 videos, I've done a good job of highlighting why that there are other genres out there and why playing them can actually curb your League addiction and gaming addiction in general, because there's stuff like you can pause them whenever you need to, you can drop them and come back to them, you can adjust difficulty, there's all sorts of stuff that you can do, and you can play them by yourselves. That it makes it a much more fun gaming experience compared to League. If you guys want to see the full playlist, I'll drop it right here on the right. If you guys want to hit me up on Discord for one-on-one coaching, I'll drop the link down below. You guys can join whenever. That's it from me today, guys. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, getting rid of your gaming addiction is actually very easy. Follow me and I'll show you how.